Okay, now before we start our next chapter in the book, we need to make a couple setting changes. All right, and it's really pretty simple to do. Just open a new drawing, doesn't matter, and then type this in. Start up, all one word, no spaces. Hit enter. It's going to ask you to enter a new value. Your value needs to be 1. Hit enter again, and we'll just close that drawing. Okay, no need to keep it open. Then we're going to be back to the screen. Now, we've been using this button to open new drawings thus far. We're going to use a different button. We're going to come up here and use this button beside the big A. Okay? You can also type Q new if you prefer. It's going to bring this up. Okay, that gives us options. We can either open an existing drawing, create a new drawing from scratch, create a new drawing using a template, which we'll get to later in some chapters, and using a wizard. We're going to start from scratch, and we're going to do the practice one in the book. So we're going to pick metric, okay, because that'll get our settings set up more for a metric drawing, and we'll just hit OK. So that's going to open a new drawing. Notice it is totally blank. Now, if you want to have your stuff in there, you got these buttons down here. Drawing grid, that's the drawing grid on, or you can turn it off, okay? I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and then you've got this one over here, which is snap mode on and off. Now, if you want to make changes to that, just right-click on either one of those. Just use your right mouse button and go to grid settings. Now, it's going to bring this up. You can turn your snap on and off, and what snap does is it'll snap to each one of these intersections as you draw, okay? Some people like to use that. I pretty much don't, so I never use it. And then you can set your grid spacing here. Right now, our grid spacing is set to 10 millimeters, okay? You can change that to whatever you want. I'm just going to leave everything the way it is, and I'm going to leave my grid on. See, grid on and grid off, snap on and snap off. We're going to leave the grid on, keep the snap off, and hit OK. All right, so now we're ready to go. So what it wants us to do is it wants us to draw this rocker arm thing. Okay, so we're going to start off with circles. All right, so our biggest circle is going to be a diameter. It's going to be a radius. So we're going to go center radius, and we're just going to pick a point, doesn't matter where, and we're going to do our radius. Now, in this case, our radius is 50, so we'll just type 50. If you'll look in the book, it says R50. That means a radius of 50. So there's that. Now, I'm going to start with a line in the middle of that. I'm going to come straight up 40. And then I'm going to go over 70. And there we go. Now, I'm going to put my next circle there. And this one's going to be a radius of 25. All right, so now we'll come down from there. We're going to go down 60. And we're going to come over 50. And then we'll do another circle. And this one is going to be a radius, also 25. So there we go. Now, I'm going to use that again. Get rid of these two, and then come over this way to get rid of that one. And there's our 3 circles. Now, remember this toolbar up here? We want to draw lines that are tangent to these 2 circles. So I'm going to pick line, then I'm going to pick tangent, which is this one with the 1 dot. Hover over it, it says snap to tangent. So we'll click on that, and I'm going to pick the circle. Then I'm going to go back up here and pick that again and pick the other circle. Now I've got a line that's tangent to both circles. Okay? So we're going to do that again. So line, and we go tangent, and we'll pick this circle. And then tangent again, and pick this circle. And there we go. Now it's connected on the top and the bottom, and it's tangent. Now I want curves on these. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to use a different circle command. So I'm going to pick the arrow underneath circle, and that's going to give me options. Radius, center, 2 point, 3 point, tan radius is what I'm looking for. Tan radius means you pick 2 tangent points and then enter a radius, and it'll make a circle that is tangent to the 2 points that you picked of the radius that you specify. So we'll pick that, and I'm going to pick 2 tangent points, one here and one here. Now that one is going to be a radius of 40. So we'll type in 40, and then we have that. Now we're going to do another one, and this one's going to be a radius of 50. So tangent point, 50. So there's our 2 circles. Now, here's our drawing, but we want it to look like the one in the book. So we got to do some trimming. Now, so I'll use trim. Remember, pick what you want to get rid of. Okay, so I want to get those 2 out. I want to get this out and this out. Now, check this out. You can pick and then drag. Remember to let go of the mouse button. You don't have to hold it down. And then whatever you cross, it will trim. So we can just do that. So there's the outline of the thing. Now, we're going to use a new command called polygon, okay? So polygon makes multi-sided objects. So polygon is up here. Go to rectangle, hit the arrow beside it, and go to polygon. Now, what they want is they want us to put a 6-sided polygon in here, you know, a hexagon, okay? And it's 60 across the flats, okay? So that means the radius of it would be 60. So first we got to enter number of sides. We want 6. Then we're going to pick our center point. Then it's going to ask us, is it inside the circle or outside the circle? We're doing the flats, so that will be outside the circle. So we'll pick that, and then it's going to ask me for the radius. Half of 60 is, of course, 30. So we'll type 30, enter. And there's our inside. So that's how you do that. Now it's going to want a square on the top and a circle on the bottom, and they're both, basically the radius is going to be 10 on both of those. So we'll do the circle first because that's easy, right? So we'll go back to circle, we'll go to radius, center point of this, and 10. And there you go. Now up here, we'll do another polygon. So we'll pick polygon again. This time we want 4 sides. Okay? And it's going to be 10 again across the flats. So circumscribed, straight up, 10 radius. And there's your rocker arm. Easy enough, right? Okay, so that's the practice one for this one. Okay, you can do the second practice one if you would like. You don't have to. Or, well, actually, there is no second practice one. That is the practice one. So that's the practice one for that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use this so that we can, and what we've learned off of it, to put our other ones together. So I will save this. I'm not going to print it out, but I'm going to save it as practice for chapter 2. So we'll just say save. And we'll call that chapter 2 practice. And then we'll go on from there.